Chanel and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing how to make 3 different DIY sleeves. I'm really loving the whole big sleeve trend that's going around at the moment, and I decided to have a go at replicating some of the styles I'd seen on some online stores, and I'm really happy with how they've turned out, so I'm going to share how I went about making them with you today. So for this video, I've made a free downloadable template that you can find the link to in the description below this video. And I've designed this template to work really well with the Rosery dress pattern that I have now got available on my website, roseryapparel.com. So if you've already purchased that pattern, then this template will fit really nicely with that. But obviously you can still use it for your other projects as well. So without further ado, let's make some sleeves. First, let's make this really cute shirred puff sleeve. I actually shared the making process of this entire dress in another video, but in this video, I'm going to go into detail on how I made this adorable sleeve. For this sleeve, you're going to need some shirring elastic, which is really easy to pick up from most craft stores, and we'll be using the Sleeve 1 template for this sleeve project. Start by hand winding the shirring elastic onto a bobbin. You don't have to pull the elastic tight, just gently wind it on, then pop the bobbin aside for later. Sew 2 rows of gathering stitches along the top curve of the sleeve between the notches. This is something I do with all the sleeves, as these gathers will help ease the sleeve into the bodice later on. Next, with right sides together, fold the sleeve in half and sew together along the raw seam. Once sewn, hem the sleeve with about a 1/2 centimetre or 1/4 inch hem. Now for the fun part. Remove the bobbin from your machine and place the shirring elastic bobbin in instead. Next, change the stitch length of your sewing machine to about twice the length of a normal stitch. Then stitch a row of shirring approximately 4 centimetres or 1 inch from the hemmed edge, making sure to hold your elastic and thread as you start to stitch. The shirring elastic creates a kind of ruffle as you sew. Once you've sewn around the sleeve, remove the sleeve from the machine and tie the shirring elastic into a double knot. Then repeat this process another 2 times, lining the sewing machine foot to the previous stitch to help get the shirring nice and straight. And the shirring should have created this cute little ruffle along the edge of the sleeve. To attach the sleeve to the bodice, slightly gather the gathering stitches we made at the start, and then with right sides together, pin the sleeve to the bodice, matching the underarm seams together. Pull or tighten the gathering stitches as much as you need to make the sleeve fit into the armhole nicely. Then stitch in place. And you should now have a dress with some really cute shirred puff sleeves. Now let's make these over-the-top puffy sleeves. For this sleeve, use the same template as before, but this time cut it out about 3 sizes larger at the top curve and the side seam. If you're already using one of the largest sizes, add a few centimetres or inches to these lines like this. The bigger you make your sleeve, the puffier it will be. Start by cutting out the sleeve in both your fabric and a lightweight iron-on interfacing. Again, the interfacing should be quite easy to pick up at most craft stores. Next, measure the circumference of your arm at its widest point and add 4 centimetres or 1 inch to this measurement. Cut out 2 rectangles that is your measurement by 8 centimetres or 2 inches of both your fabric and the interfacing. The interfacing gives the fabric a bit of structure and will make the puff sleeves sit nicely when done. Once all the pieces are cut, carefully iron the interfacing onto the back of the fabric pieces. Make sure your iron is set on a low setting for this. Then sew 2 rows of gathering stitches along the top curve between the notches and 2 rows along the entire bottom curve. Carefully gather these stitches until you've got a pretty amazing puff sleeve shape. Fold the sleeves right sides together and sew together along the raw edge. Next, take the 2 rectangle pieces we cut out before and press the long edges in about 1 centimetre or 1/4 of an inch. Then, with right sides together, fold the rectangle in half and stitch along the short raw edge to create a loop. Fold the loop in half again and press to make the folded edge nice and crisp. Turn your puffy sleeve right side out and then pin the loop to the bottom of the sleeve, matching the seams together. This part was actually pretty fiddly, so just take your time and make sure the raw edges are nicely tucked into the loop. Once pinned, carefully sew into place. Trim away any threads and remove the gathering stitches with a seam ripper. And you've got yourself a pair of massive puffy sleeves. The final sleeve DIY I'm going to be showing you is heavily inspired by my thrift flipped gingham blouse that I absolutely love and wear all the time. For this sleeve, use the Sleeve 2 template from the downloadable pattern and cut it out of your fabric. Next, measure and cut out 2 rectangles approximately twice the size of the bottom of your sleeve pieces by about 30 centimeters or 12 inches. Sew 2 rows of gathering stitches along the top of both rectangles. And carefully pull the threads to gather the top of the rectangle until it's approximately the same size as the bottom of the sleeve. With right sides together, evenly pin the gathered edge of the rectangle to the bottom edge of the sleeve and stitch in place. Then fold the sleeve in half with right sides together and pin and stitch the raw edge of the sleeve. Then hem the bottom edge of the sleeve about 2 centimeters or half an inch and sew in place, leaving a small opening to be able to feed through some elastic. Cut 2 pieces of elastic to fit comfortably around your wrist, and using a safety pin, feed the elastic into the casing we just made. The elastic bunches up the bottom of the sleeve, creating a really nice puffy detail to the sleeve. Once fed through, tie the elastic with a double knot and stitch the casing closed. And you have an adorable puffy sleeved dress. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below which sleeve style you're excited to try. And if you do have a go at making any of them, then I would love to see them. So be sure to tag me on Instagram at Rosery Apparel if you do share any of these sleeve projects on there. If you like this video, then be sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. And yeah, have a lovely day and thanks for watching.